Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, a lot of people are trying to get a Lightstream loan, okay? And there's a reason why they're trying to get a Lightstream loan. And that reason is it's because you can actually have two loans at the same time, all right? And I'm going to break it down the two loans that you want to have and the strategy to get those two loans, all right? Now, there's something else I want to tell you guys. Look, you see these here cards here? If you have a like a secured card or a subprime type of card, okay, whether it be from Visa or from Mastercard, okay, if you have these type of subprime cards, sometimes Lightstream will deny you. Okay. That's something you have to look out for because there was a client had a perfect credit score, but what happened is he built his credit up using these subprime cards, right? And I always tell you guys you have to be careful with subprime cards. So he built the credit up using these subprime cards, even though he was above a 700, and they counted that against him and he was denied, right? And actually it's because of a secured credit card, okay? So you have to be very careful in terms of like with some of these lenders and stuff like that that I continue to tell you guys that you have to be very careful. Now, going back to Lightstream, all right? So we all know that Lightstream is a branch of Truist Bank, okay? And we know that with Truist Bank, they actually will pull from Equifax. All right. And so the average score to get a loan with them, usually about you're safe if you're above a 680. So about a 690 credit score. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it. They're very sensitive on DTI. For those of you that may not know, your DTI is your debt to income ratio. Okay. Now, what that means is that with, like I said, with Lightstream, if you're trying to get a loan from them, even though you may be looking for a consolidation loan, right? So you may be looking for a consolidation loan, but at the same time, and they have good rates, but at the same time, if your DTI is too high, and I'll show you another lender where you can go to where the DTI it can be 75%. But dealing with Lightstream, the DTI, if you're trying to get the two loans that I mentioned, if you're trying to get the two loans that I mentioned, you want to make sure that your DTI stays around under 30%. Okay. Stays around under 30% because this is what's going to make it, like I said, to get two loans, not just one, but two loans. Also, in order for you to get two loans, most people are not aware of, like you can get two loans, all right? And those two loans will come in the form of here, I'll show you. This is the hack that people are doing, all right? So the two loans that they would get a consolidated loan, right? So they'll get this consolidated loan. Then they'll turn around and they will apply for this car loan. Now, here's the thing where people think, well, isn't this illegal? No, it's not illegal. What happens is they're going to pull more likely your Equifax FICO 8 over here, right? However, when it comes to the car loan, they're going to use a TransUnion, okay? And the way that it looks, because you can influence your TransUnion like within 48 to 72 hours, cleaning up your TransUnion before you're applying for the car loan. From the way that it looks, since your TransUnion score goes up so fast, that tells me that they're using a VantageScore. And the reason I'm going to tell you that is because you can go to Credit Karma and look at your TransUnion and you can dispute the negative items on that. And then within 48 to 72 hours, your credit score can jump up almost 50 points, right? And then when you come back over here to Lightstream and apply for it, they're more likely going to pull your TransUnion for this here car loan. Now, here's the best thing about this car loan. They're not going to hold title. There's no tax lien. Okay. As a matter of fact, they're not going to even ask for documentation. And I'm going to tell you how to actually get around the documentation for this here consolidated loan and this car loan. With this here consolidated loan, 25,000. Okay. Stay under 25,000. Now, with this car loan, you want to make sure that you do not go over 40,000. So don't try to go 50,000. Stay between 15 to 40,000, all right? And the reason why this is important, because remember, all of this is cash, okay? This is cash they're going to actually be depositing. Now, one of the best things about the car loan, or I wouldn't say the best thing, but one of the things about this here car loan you have to keep in mind is that the easiest way is like when you have already an existing car loan that's paid off, or you have a personal loan that's already paid off, or you have a mortgage. Okay, so when you have a high secured loan that you already satisfied, you will have a higher chance of getting this loan. And again, like I said, this isn't going to be like a loan to an auto dealer. They're going to actually give you the money as cash. They'll deposit it into your checking account. Okay. So this is the reason why a lot of people try to get into Lightstream, because they know that they can get two loans. Now, here's another thing. You can actually do this, apply for both loans within a 30-day period, and they more likely are only going to pull just the one inquiry. So if they already pulled your Equifax and it's within that 30-day period, what'll end up happening, more likely they're going to only pull just that one credit bureau, okay? Where they most of the time will pull the TransUnion, you won't get that hard pull because it's within that 30 day. All right. So that's the reason why a lot of people are trying to get this here Lightstream loan. Now, for those of you that have too high of a DTI, and you're trying to get a loan, this is the best place I would go. I would go over to Universal Credit, okay? Because they offer up to 50,000, all right, from 1,000 to 50,000. But one of the things about it that I like about it, because they're going to use a Vantage 3 TransUnion as well. And so what that means, adding to what I was talking about with this here Lightstream using TransUnion and the Vantage 3, they're going to use a Vantage 3 as well. And guess what? You can actually add like authorized users, rental payments, and stuff like that to qualify for this here loan. Now, one of the things about it, the minimum score with them is usually about a 580. All right. However, their DTI actually is up to 75%. Now, they do use Upstart's platform to qualify you. Okay, so they'll use Upstart's platform to pre-qualify you. That's the reason why what they're checking when they say you won't see an impact on your credit, more likely they're going to use either LexisNexis, or so that on the soft pull, okay, or Factor Trust. And the reason they're using those is to verify your information. Make sure you're not in bankruptcy, okay? Now, some lenders still will give you a loan even if you're in bankruptcy. So you have to be very careful on that. All right. Now, here's another thing. A few questions. How quickly can you get the money? They're saying fast. But again, it just depends on the data points. It really depends on the data points. If you have the address matching and the name matching, it's not even about the employer. Okay, the address and the name, if you have those two matching, then you probably get a response much quicker. Okay, so that's the thing about it, is that they actually are leveraging other third party databases to find out if you qualify. All right, so I hope this video helps you. If you have any question about business credit loans, business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.